What's up everyone, it's your girl Shay here and welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back to my channel if you have been here before. And as you can see by the title of today's video, I am actually going to have an interesting discussion with you guys. And its discussion is based off of an article that I ended up finding talking about 5 essential anime that people should watch at least once. Now, I saw the list that they put out and I decided I wanted to make some adjustments. And I am going to tell you what shows they put on their list and kind of say which shows I would replace them with or if I would keep it exactly the same. Now, I will say there are I think 2 shows on this list or on their list that I actually have not seen before. So I am going to preface that as well. And let me see if you guys agree with what I replace these shows with, as well as feel free to comment below what shows you either would put on this list, take off. Do you agree with my list? Do you agree with theirs? Definitely let me know, and like I said before, comment below. I have everything written here on my phone, the shows that I would replace them with or if I would keep them. So yeah, let's get started. So the first show that they put on their list was Cowboy Bebop. Now, before Cowboy Bebop fans flame me in these comments, because I know that so many anime fans have a deep connection with Cowboy Bebop, I would replace it. Now, again, don't flame me just yet. I would replace it, but what I would replace it with is Death Note. Now, I myself do not have a huge connection with Cowboy Bebop, and I have seen the show Cowboy Bebop as well. But when I watched it, I was definitely a lot older, and it was beyond the nostalgia. I didn't have a nostalgia for it like many people did. I did a review on Cowboy Bebop actually on my channel after I had watched it, and I had told people that one of the main issues I had was that the main villain shows up towards the latter half of the series. So I had no connection with the villain throughout the course of the series. I didn't mind that the show was episodic. I actually thought that was actually one of the better elements that I enjoyed of the show, and I enjoyed all the other characters involved as well, like Faye, and then you have the other characters whose names I cannot remember. But yes, or Ed, that was one of the characters. Ed? Yeah, y'all can comment below the names of the characters in Cowboy Bebop. But I just didn't have a nostalgia for the show like many other people did. That's why I said I would replace it with Death Note. Only because I feel like Death Note is definitely one of those shows that can get a lot of people hooked. And it has such a great premise. So you meet Light Yagami, he gets a Death Note from a Shinigami. You see it start out with him trying to do something that's good, and then seeing him result into him doing something that is inherently bad. But then you yourself as a viewer are in this middle ground of wanting to see what Light is going to do next, while also kind of anticipating him getting caught. And it's definitely a show that will get people from beginning to end. And as we know, it's had quite a few other iterations, live actions and stuff like that. Obviously there's a manga as well, but it is a show that I think a lot of people should watch at least once. Only because it has such a great premise. It has such a great characters and everything else like that, and I think a lot of people should definitely check it out. The second show that they put on their list was Neon Genesis Evangelion, and this is one of the first shows on this list that I actually have not seen before. So I, again, don't have a connection with it, but I would replace it with Fruits Basket. Now, Fruits Basket 2019, not the Fruits Basket that I think came out in 2003, only because, as we know, Fruits Basket 2019 actually shows the entirety of what happens throughout the course of the series. And as we know, there is the subsequent sequels after that show the complete story. But the reason why I say Fruits Basket is because you meet Toru Honda and you have her meet the Soma family, who have this huge mystery about them that when they are hugged by the opposite gender, they will turn into a member of the Chinese zodiac. And I just really love that premise because the show itself had a lot of different elements to it. It had obviously romance, it had humor, but then it also had that overarching mystery as well as a whole bunch of drama involved also. And you see the characters grow up kind of in front of your eyes on screen. You see Toru start out as a naive character, but throughout the course of the series of her being with the Soma family, you see that she has such a pure heart that kind of breaks the Soma family's, not breaks their curse, but it kind of influences the Soma family to like have like a little bit of a backbone, I guess is the best way for me to phrase it. But it's also such a heartbreaking show because you see the parents of these kids and what they've had to go through because of their kids being like having the spirits of these zodiac animals. And so again, I know it's not an action-packed show and it's not a shonen show, but I think it is a show that a lot of people should watch at least once. The third show that they put on their list was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and honestly, I would keep it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a great show. Honestly, I feel like watching either Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is honestly great, because as we both know, both of these series, Full Metal Alchemist, it starts out following the manga, but then it deviates and it has an entirely different story compared to the manga because the manga had yet to be completed at the time. And we, of course, we have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood that stays true to the manga as close as possible. So both series has two completely different endings. And so I definitely agree. This is a show that a lot of people should watch, and it has kind of held its own throughout the test of time. The fourth show that they put on their list was Monster. This was the second and final show on this list that I had not seen before, but I would replace it with Clannad and Clannad After Story. And again, I know people are going to say, why Clannad and Clannad After Story? It is because of the fact that this show, Clannad and then the sequel Clannad After Story, both were so heartbreaking. I think for me, as a new anime fan at that time when I watched this, at the time I had been watching other shows that I had already seen for nostalgia purposes. Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin. So it was one of the first series that I had ever watched that was brand new to me. And it had me hooked. I was like crying so much while watching the show. I laughed a lot. I enjoyed the drama involved, but then I also really enjoyed the overarching story of seeing the main character, Tomoya, I believe is the main male character, and seeing all that he went through when it came for him falling for Nagisa and seeing their relationship flourish, seeing the relationship he had with his dad, because him and his dad have a little bit of a strained relationship because of his dad's drinking problem due to the passing away of his mother, but then him understanding his father later on. Like, those were things that I like while watching this show that that made me fall in love with this show so much. And yes, like I said, it had me bawling my eyes out, but for really good reasons. And I think it's a show that a lot of people should watch. And the fifth and final show that they put on their list was Dragon Ball Z, and I'm gonna keep it. I originally had thought about replacing Dragon Ball Z with something else, but I couldn't think of what to replace it with. Only because I thought about replacing it with another like shonen show like My Hero Academia or something like that. But then I realized like most of these shows though take inspiration from Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z is such an iconic show because so many anime fans started out watching Dragon Ball Z. And yes, while I know all of us older anime fans have our own misgivings about Dragon Ball Z, like the long pans of landscape, how long it takes them to do power-ups, and how sometimes the show can kind of drag on for a long period of time. But it is still a show that many of us will go back and watch, and many of us can see the inspiration from other shonen shows that they took from Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z is literally the blueprint. So yeah, I would keep it on this list. So yeah, just to reiterate, the shows that I would put on my list: number 1, I would actually put Death Note. Number 2, I would put Fruits Basket 2019. Third, I would do Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I would keep that. Fourth one, I would do Clannad/Clannad After Story. Honestly, I think you should watch both because you gotta watch Clannad and then right after it, you have to watch Clannad After Story. And the fifth one, I would keep Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, what would you guys put on your list, and what do you think of my list? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with the article of like the shows that they put for the 5 essential like anime that people should watch at least once? And I of course will link the article in the description box if you want to read the complete article for yourself. But yeah, what do you guys think? And like I said before, don't flame me in the comments for some of the decisions that I made. This is just my personal list, and everyone's list can look differently based off of the animes that they have seen and based off of what they would like recommend for others. And that's kind of what I went based off of, mostly because of the fact that I know a lot of shonen shows, a lot of the shows that are action packed are the shows that a lot of people tend to start out with introducing other fans to, or thinking people should watch. And those are the shows that usually get a lot of people's attention really fast. But because we know anime has so many different genres involved in it, I think those different genres should also be expressed in this list. And while I know I didn't express all the different genres there are in anime, I really think I, at least brightened up the list a little bit compared to what the article had, but that's just my own opinion. But yeah, let me know what you feel about it by commenting it down below, and I look forward to reading your comments. All right, you guys, I hope you guys have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and today's stay healthy, and of course, please stay safe. And of course, link below is all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Blue Sky, my Instagram. All the social medias are linked below, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. All right, you guys.